Good morning, everyone. This is Julie from JulesOfTyler, and today I wanted to show you one of my favorite things to do in my junk journal. And this is something that Carla Frizzell showed us, and it just looked like so much fun, and it actually is to where I've made many of these and am starting to use these in my junk journals. And this is something also you can use for the more Victorian look, and this is something you can use for like the children's pages. So it's front and back, where it has 2 pockets on each side and one up on top. And you do not have to decorate both sides. I think it looks really cute without it. And so this is what I'm going to show you today. I don't know what she called it. I can't remember because this has been a while back. But, you know, I guess I can call it like 3-page pocket, something like that, because it is made of 3 pages. And the 3 pages would be exactly the same sizes. And you can change the pages up. These are music and these are coffee dyed. But I've also got some that are different colored pages that are dyed and 3 different colors. So you can do whatever you want to. You can put a solid color in the middle here or just change it up a little bit. Just whatever you want to do. So, like I said, this is really, really fun, really easy. So, let's start this. Okay, the first thing we do, of course, is we're going to get 3 pages that are identical in size. So I've got these pages here that are coffee dyed, and there are 3 of them, the same size. Now, this is something that you're just going to fold over horizontally here in half. Let's see here. Get all 3. Maybe I should put on my readers. Maybe that would help a little bit. Let's see here. Okay. And one more. Let's get this folded over. Okay, this is something also you can use for Happy Mail. So if you use it for Happy Mail and stuff the pockets full, you can use it any size. This is a little bit large for my journal. So what I do is I cut it down just a little bit. And you would just bring your cutter in and just cut it whatever you would like. Let's see, so I'll go down here. Well, I might go to, I don't know if that thing's going to go. Let's see. I'm going to cut it down about 1 inch. Okay. And I still think it's going to be a little wide, so I think I will do the sides just a tiny bit. Now we'll go down 1 inch. Again, you just do it whatever size that your page is going to be. Mine are pretty much the same size, so. I've got short ones, I've got tall ones. Okay. And let's see, that's about 7.5. I might go a little bit shorter, okay. Let's see here. I'm going to go, I think I want it a little bit closer to 6. So that's what I'm going to do. Alrighty, here we go. That's about 6 inches here. Now, if you have some pages that are older, like, let me show you what I have. Okay. These pages here are from old book pages from the 1800s, and they're a little bit flimsy. So what I did on this is I just folded over the tops just a tiny bit. And this one's already going to be folded over. And this one's already, let's see, folded over a little bit here. And so to just make it a little bit sturdier. Okay. But these right here are really sturdy, so I do not have to worry about this at all. Okay, the first page here, what you're going to do is leave it plain. You don't do anything else with it. The second one here, what we're going to do is fold down. And we're going to make some pockets that way. So you, from the angle of your pocket, you might stick this in here and see what angle you want. You might want something, you know, a little bit further down, something, you know, up a little higher. It's just up to you what you want to do on that. So I just kind of look at it here and decide and fold it down. Then I come over here and I take it off and I bring it back pretty close to that. You can see a little bit of the bend here. So then I'm just going to turn it over and I'm going to try to match that up. And you really don't have to because you're not going to see both sides. And then I'm going to pull this in right here. We got those two pages. The back page, all you're going to do is take this and fold back up like this. Okay? And that's all you're going to do. So now we're going to take this page, the tall one, and we're going to put the folded page next. And if it doesn't come up exactly to the top, that is no big deal. You can just pull it up there, and then you can take this bottom one and just pull it up at the bottom here. And that's all. And again, this might be a time for you, if you want to cut down even more, you can. Sometimes I leave this front pocket large, but really I like it a little bit smaller. Here's a large one here. You can decorate it a little bit better with it large, like that. But I prefer it just to be a little bit shorter, so I'm going to cut this down just a tiny bit. Let's see, maybe right here. Yeah. Okay. And just stack them up together. And if you think this is going to be a little bit bulky, what you can do is just cut this. You're just going to come back here, fold that up. And you can just cut this right in half after you fold that. So again, this is what it looks like. Oops. Okay, here we go. So we just want to cut it in half here so that it's just not as thick on here. And I think I did one like that. I am not sure, I can't remember. So anyway, this is what it would look like. Just a little bit thinner, a little less bulky. So you just bring your cutter back in and cut this at that line, at the little fold line. Okay. And that's all there is to that. And what now you can do is either glue this or you can take it to your sewing machine. And the thing to do next is to sew all the tops. What you'll do, unfold it, sew all the top, unfold the second page, fold the top, not fold the top, and sew the top. And the bottom, same way. You're going to sew the top, and then you're going to sew the top on the other side. But again, you do not have to. You can use stamps. You can use your ruler with a marker, or you can just use nothing at all and just keep it blank. And just ink it up real good if you want to, you know, put a little definition in there. But that's really all on that one. What I'll do is I'll just give you an idea what it looks like with stamps. I don't know if you guys have any of these stamps. They have little stitches that are really, really cool. You can see that. This one was close to my heart, but as y'all know, they went out of business. So, but anyway, they've got all the different kind of stitches that you can use. And I've just got the regular zigzag stitch here. And then all you'll do is get some scrap paper so I don't get this all over the place. I'm just going to do this along the top at first. Yeah, that's my head. It's pretty hard not to have my head in there. Okay. And again, if I could do this without the camera right on top of me, it would probably look a little bit better. Okay, and you have that right here. Next page, which is the middle page that is folded down, we're just going to do the exact same thing. I think I'm going to start it from the top. Maybe it'll look a little bit better and packed. I'm just going to turn it over to get it closer to me. Here, there we go. And I'm just going to put this right down. Yep. Looking good, looking good. I'm going to turn it here. Let me see here if that's going to, here we go. That looks a little bit better, I think. Just line it up and press down. Okay, that step is done. Here we go. And the last one. Okay. Again, just line it up. Easy peasy. Other side. Okay. That's all of that right here. I'll put that to the side. Okay. And then once you put that on, you see how that is right here? And then the next thing would be to glue this down and then go over it again with the stamps on the sides and on the bottom to bring it together. That's just going to be something. Let me see. Find my glue. Okie-dokie. And this is just where you would be sewing if you were going to sew. Just here on the edges. Okay. This edge right here. Maybe I should come down here, huh? Might be a little bit better. Okay. And this one here. Kind of line it up a little bit better. There we go. And we're just going to line two sides with that. Bring it up and press it down. Same thing here. Let's go down the sides. All glued up. And then we're going to bring our stamp back out and stamp the rest of it. Let's see here. Bring that back. Other side. Boy, the stamp seems to be the perfect size for this paper. I really lucked out on that one. Okay, now we'll just do. All right, last one here. Okay, back to the bottom and the sides. Now, if you wanted to glue this directly on the page, you wouldn't have to do the back side. You would just leave that blank. There we go. All right. Let's just see what this looks like. Just like that. You're going to have a pocket at the top. And this little slanted pocket and the pocket down at the bottom. Turn it over and it's the exact same thing. And you can leave it like this, or you can decorate it any way you want to. Now I did want to show you a couple of things. Okay, let me get this up here where you can see it real good, how I decorated. This is where I've sewn, did the exact same as the stamping, but I sewed all around and then just added some book pages and some fabric and some lace. Then I turned it over and made it a little bit brighter and put more book pages on here and some rickrack. Here's another one for maybe the children book pages. And this one I did a little bit different. I decided I wanted to make a flip. So when you have your paper, here's one that I did. I haven't completed it yet, but I did sew around the tops of everything. So you're going to have this one side that is open. Let me show you here. These sides are open, so you can slip a little piece of paper in here to make it a flip. Let me see. Okay, here we go. How about this one right here? This one I have almost ready to go. Got all my decorations for it. I just need to sew and get it together. But what I have is all three pieces here, as you see. Everything's open to one side. And I'm just going to slip that bottom part out. I'm going to slip a little piece of paper. This is probably, looks to be about 2 inches, okay? And I'm going to stick that in the middle, about 1 inch. And this is when I would glue this in right here on both sides, so it would stick in there, and then you would just put this back up here. And then you could just bend this down, and you could put it on your page as a flip. Let me see, I have this right here. Let me just show you here. What we got here, okay. Something like this. Gonna just wrap around this one page, and you would glue it in, or you could use washi tape, and then you would have you a little flip. Easy peasy on that one. Okay, and then I had another idea, and let me find this one. Okay, this one here, I did not sew any of it together. What I did is just sew it all to the top here. I sewed the tops just as I did before, but I did not sew the sides together. And that way here, again, you can bring your journal over here and you can use it as a signature. So if you use it as a signature, you would have, again, your 2 pockets. You could leave one side open if you wanted to slip something in there, or even at the top also. And another thing, what you could, if you wanted to, you could just leave it open. And that way you would have a way to decorate on each side. Let's see here. See, it would just be stuck in there. And then you could write on either side of that. There we go. Isn't that cute? I hope this is making sense. Okay, I've got another one here that I did decorate. If y'all like the Victorian journaling. And what I did is I had some old postcards and I just shrunk them down with my scanner. And then I have some old French pages that I glued on, some vintage trim and vintage buttons. And I just decorated the front. I did not do anything to the back, but again, that would be really easy to do if you wanted to. Again, I think it looks really cute if you use a contrasting color thread, that it just really pops right there. Let me see here. What else we have? Okay. I was just going to show you something here. Let me see which one I want to do. Okay. This is just a real easy one. This is one that I've already sewn up. I did not make it to a flip or anything, but again, if I want to, I can use washi tape to make it a flip instead of putting a piece of paper in there. And so I've got a couple pieces. Now I went ahead and cut everything down and found everything because you wouldn't want me hem-hawing around for 2 hours trying to figure out what I wanted to do. But this is just real easy. I have some dyed papers, and what I was going to do is just glue this on. I'm just going to line it up here in the middle. Okay. Then I have a Victorian calling card. If y'all are familiar with those, it has a really pretty front. And you just open it up here and it has someone's name when they were visiting their friends' homes. They would leave these here. And they're just gorgeous pieces of ephemera. Now, this is probably from the late 1800s, maybe early 1900s, but definitely antique. And again, I'm just going to glue this down. Okay. All right. And down we go. You can leave this as it is, but I thought it just needed a little bit more. So what I was going to do is get this, I have this vintage trim, which seems to be the same color. So what I'm going to do is add that to it. Alrighty. And put this at the top, and you can still use that pocket right there. And when it dries, I would just trim off a little bit right here, but really that's basically it. Let me get that up for you so you can see. There. And then the other side, I won't glue this down, I'll just give you some ideas. Just again, dyed papers, some vintage lace. And then I just got this. This is from Anne from Odessina, and I have one of her kits, and I put it on fabric and just made a little cluster with some old French paper. And you would just glue that on top, and that's all. And again, you could add something up at the top if you wanted to. But just any kind of papers, if you want to use your ruffles. Ruffles are fun. And I've got these little papers from Germany that are embossed, and they have glitter on top of them. I don't know if you've seen these, but they're really fun. And so you have all of these little things that you could do to make little clusters, and you can put them right in the middle of your pocket if you want to, or you can move them up here. Let me see, I think that's where I had it before. And then I had my little trim at the top, ruffle at the bottom, a little bit of a calling card here. Let's see, I think I had that around here somewhere. I cannot remember, but just as a little decoration. And then I have a vintage button. See, just little cutesy stuff like that. And people would love to have this in their journals or as happy mail. And then you just fill up the pages, the pockets to whatever you want, and let it be a little fun surprise for the new owner of your journal or with your happy mail. So I think that is it. Let me look at my list and make sure that I got it all. But I think I did. So anyway, just remember you can put this as happy mail, make it as a flip if you put the extra piece of paper in there, or you can use your washi tape and tape it in to make it a flip, or you can not sew the sides and then you can use it as a journaling page. So I think this is it. I wanted to make it short and sweet so you didn't have to watch my whole thinking process, because it does take me a while to come up, because I want ideas, because I want to see, oh, maybe this will look better. Oh, no, maybe this will be better. So, all that bit. And so anyway, this is it. I hope you like it. I hope you'll subscribe to my page and like this. And I hope to come back and show you more of my favorite ideas. So thanks again, and I hope y'all have a great day. Bye.